Horribly violent story in Orange County. A highway superintendent facing serious charges for shooting a DoorDash delivery man who got lost and knocked on the superintendent's front door for directions.
Tonight, newly obtained surveillance video reportedly showing the moment an elected official in upstate New York shot a DoorDash driver outside his home. The driver, who has not been publicly named, was attempting to deliver food to a house in Chester, New York, police say, when he became lost and unable to navigate using the app.
So this elected official shot a DoorDash delivery person because they knocked on the wrong door. Let's talk about it. All right, so this is John C. Riley. He is the elected highway superintendent for the town of Chester in New York State. He started in 2021. Now, very important, Riley is also a licensed federal firearms dealer, and he's involved with the firearms community there locally. Now, our story starts on May 2nd, 2024, where a 24-year-old DoorDash delivery man from West Africa was looking to deliver some food to one of the houses in the neighborhood. Now, while he was out making this delivery, his phone died, so he couldn't use the GPS to find the location to deliver the food to. But the DoorDash delivery man knew he was in the right area. So at 9:30, he stopped by one of the houses to ask for directions. Now that home had a Ring camera, so here he is on Ring camera trying to ask the occupants of the home for directions.
The 24-year-old Dasher was lost. When police say he was seen here Friday night in Chester, going door to door with a bag and his cell phone in hand. We traced the Dasher steps.
He did stop at our house, and I thought maybe my wife had ordered DoorDash. He didn't seem to speak that good of English.
So now after wandering around, he heads to another house, and that house happens to be the house of John C. Riley, the elected highway superintendent. Now, according to police, Riley yelled at the DoorDash driver to get off his property, and as the DoorDash driver turned to go back to his car, this is what Riley did.
Another video obtained by News 12 reportedly showing the 48-year-old walking out of his house. The video appears to show Riley initially shooting into the side of his yard, yelling at the driver to leave as the DoorDash driver turned on his ignition.
Go! Go!
Moments later, firing toward the vehicle after the driver starts to reverse. Shooting once more as the victim drove off. Police say one of the bullets struck the driver in the back.
Now, wounded with serious injuries, the DoorDash driver heads to the nearby gas station to both charge his phone and call the police. Now, the clerk sees that he's been shot in the back, calls 911, and first responders arrive. Now, police went and arrested Riley. Now, remember, Riley is a federally licensed firearms dealer, but he was charged with first-degree assault, second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, and criminal possession of a firearm. Now, he was booked into the local jail and given a $500,000 bond. Now, being an elected official and shooting DoorDash drivers generally would get you kicked out of office. But in this particular town, when you're elected to office, there's absolutely nothing that they can do to get you kicked out. Even if you murder somebody, they cannot remove you from office.
The family says they want Riley removed from his post as highway superintendent, something that can only happen through resignation. So far, no indication that Riley intends to step down from his elected position.
Now, I'm going to say it. We seem to have an epidemic where someone goes and knocks on someone's door and then shots are fired because people are so scared in their home. Remember, we covered one story yesterday, and there's like a whole bunch of other stories where people have like, hey, I'm at the wrong house, let me ring the doorbell, and next thing you know, shots are fired.
The sophomore at the University of South Carolina had recently moved into a house on South Holly Street, the same street where police say a call came from at 2 a.m. Saturday. First, a report of a burglary.
Called to the subject broke in the door.
Quickly upgraded to shots fired.
I don't know what the subject was hit.
Police say when they arrived, Donofrio was deceased, a gunshot wound to the upper body. They have not said who shot him.
A community is demanding answers after a black teenager was shot after ringing the wrong doorbell. Police say the teen went to pick up his siblings on Thursday night, mistakenly went to the wrong house where a resident of the home shot him twice.
Authorities say that Kaylin Gillis and 3 friends were driving on Saturday night looking for a friend's house when they turned into the wrong driveway at a rural home. Police say the homeowner fired 2 shots from his porch, striking Gillis, who was a passenger.
Now, in that last case you heard about the young woman driving onto the wrong property, the person who shot her got 25 years to life in prison. Now, this is a law channel, so we will have to talk about the law. In New York State, self-defense and trespassing laws don't justify you shooting unarmed people in the back when they're trying to leave your property. And I think Riley's going to have a real tough time trying to say that this was in some way self-defense, because the victim was doing exactly what he told the victim to do. Leave my property, get out of here. It seems that the person wasn't doing it quick enough. Now, New York State police are continuing to investigate. That's because Riley is a town official. The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau is also investigating because Riley had a federal firearms license, and they're reviewing all the cameras and stuff to see if this was a hate crime. Here's a statement about the case from the New York State Police.
State police say evidence shows the dasher was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
There's nothing to indicate that the victim had any nefarious intentions. He was just out there doing his job.
So, do you think Riley is going to jail? He's out on $500,000 bond, but I don't see how he can defend what happened. It wasn't like the guy was running up on him. The guy was trying to leave, and he's shooting at the car while it's going away. So yeah, I think Riley is probably going to be going up the river pretty soon. And another thing I want to ask is that DoorDash seems to be one hell of a job, because I was looking at this story and then this other story pops up where another DoorDash driver, maybe like a couple of weeks before this guy, was also shot.
26-year-old Mamadou Diallo died from his injuries. Jacqueline Francis joining us live with the very latest here. Jacqueline, what do police say led up to this shooting?
Just within the last hour, we were briefed here at Ferndale City Hall about this investigation. This is an unusual case for them. This is their first murder here in Ferndale since 2016. We now want to show you a picture of the victim. This is Mamadou Diallo. He was killed back on March 9th. Police say he was working a late night DoorDash run when another car and him nearly collided. Police say that car waited for Mamadou to catch up to him and then shot at him several times. He died from the gunshots, police calling this an isolated and senseless incident of road rage.
So yeah, if I'm working for DoorDash, I might invest in a bulletproof vest, because they are being taken out like crazy. This is like insano stuff. They're delivering food getting shot. They're driving to deliver the food get shot. This is like insano stuff. Are people really that scared out there, where if somebody rings your doorbell, you're gunning them down? Like, this is starting to get a little insane. But let me know how you feel about both these stories. Obviously, I think the town official, he's going to jail, right? Riley is going to jail. I don't know what his excuse could have been, but unless he's in fear for his life, that video that we watched didn't seem to be that way. And I honestly don't even think Riley was trying to shoot to injure the guy. I think he was just shooting toward him to scare him, and just unluckily probably hit this guy in the back. And then also, he's not going to have too much sympathy from a jury because he's a firearm instructor, right? He's got the license. He knows the rules. He knows you can't just start discharging your weapon toward people to scare them off your property. That's a big no-no. But as always, tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. Say, Nate, you got this wrong. They were in fear for their lives, and that's why they had to do what they had to do to the DoorDash guys. I just will have to utterly disagree with you. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.